Hi.
Hello.
So, we thought we'd have one of our more chatty videos today. Sorry about the noise in the background, but it's a busy gym, so... Southpaws.
I don't like them.
No, not after a certain experience recently. So, just to give a little bit of...
10 seconds, sharp.
Context.
Meat to the bone, should we say. Pete and I, and one of Pete's clients, a guy called Charlie, who's a boxer, and one of his other guys, we all sparred. And
Boxing sparring.
Boxing sparring, just to be exact. And Pete has never really been exposed just purely to boxing, and then purely to just boxing a southpaw, i.e. me.
Halfway.
What was your experience of this, and why are we that led to this chat we're going to have?
It's when you're met with something unorthodox, isn't it? It's when you're met with something a little bit alien.
Yes.
And your adjustment time can really cost you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're used to this particular thing, like if you're used to an MMA stance, or if you're used to a particular passing style, when that changes quite suddenly by sort of a weird arrangement, and you continue to try and do the same thing, it can really fuck up. It can really mess up. It can really go, you know. Yeah,
especially because as being a southpaw, all of my experience mostly is sparring with people who have an orthodox stance. Which means I have a lot more experience of fighting in that asymmetrical manner, particularly boxing. And what you probably didn't realise, you weren't so aware of, is that I boxed quite a lot.
Yeah, that was it.
Which made another...
Your actual sort of raw boxing ability surprised me, like as an isolated skill, because I thought you'd just be like MMA hands, and you were actually cutting off the ring with intent, which was like a bit like, oh shit, and a weird angle to me as well, because you're moving the wrong direction. So I was like, and kept walking onto the left hand, and you would just make a small adjustment. But if I'm moving straight, it's just
you come straight onto
that left hand, which is odd to me.
What Pete's talking about is the fact that I would always adjust my lead foot, and this is something all southpaws should do. Also, what all orthodox people should do if they're competing against a southpaw or sparring with them, is you want to dominate that lead leg position and be on the outside. If you're not, you're going to start eating a lot, as long as not one person isn't massively longer than the other person. So, you know, unless there's like a significant reach advantage, that southpaw is going to keep landing that left hand. Every time you move, if their foot position's right, you're going to fall onto that left hand every single time. Or it's just going to hit your guard. But again, it's that moment of the moment you set, they throw the left hand, you're forced to reset again, and they're already moving.
I tell you what also sort of messed with me a lot is my jab couldn't find a correct home either. So a lot of my sort of boxing game is based off of finding a home for my jab, and I would be jabbing, but it'd be sort of like you'd be guarding high, obviously with your right hand. So I'd get it here, but it wouldn't be touching you. So I'd be okay. Now I'll step in, and it was sort of that really. If you can't get your one thing off, which sort of centers you, then the rest kind of starts going. Footwork obviously massively important as well, but for me, what my game was trying to establish, it was never hitting. So that was another thing, rather than not just feet, it was hands as well, where you were.
Yeah. So it's a combination of multiple things. So I'm able to I'm aware that I need to dominate that lead foot position. You're probably a bit less aware of that at that moment. And then just sheer practice of boxing. Much more just out and out boxing. I've done quite a lot.
Done more.
I've never competed in boxing. I've just done it because we had like Molly McCann here, and she was obviously an ex-ABA boxer, and other people as well who've been through the gym. So, and if my left hand wasn't working, I would just cut an angle. Again, just start introducing 2 or 3 new things to you.
Yes.
And seeing how that played with you.
Yeah. The repositioning and how quickly you'd move, just from angle. It was not necessarily how quick you were moving, it was the understanding of the angle. So you'd move off, and I'll be having to plod all the way around, going around. It's like you're saying at the center of the pivot, and you'd turn, and I have to go all the way around. So it made me work a lot. So I had to work a lot harder, which is again tiring, and it becomes scary again, because if you've ever been tired and boxing is a scary place to be.
It is,
isn't it? Really?
You've got you can't change level and shoot a double.
No,
you can't pull guard. You've
tried.
And a few headbutts. I think through several headbutts. You headbutt everyone.
It's my shoulder.
Oh, really? Yeah. But yeah, I suppose in the case of we're not boxers, neither of us. I don't profess to be. I just have a bit of experience of it. Pete isn't. But in terms of MMA, how do you feel
5 seconds.
that left hand, that southpaw stance impacts you?
My first ever amateur fight was against a southpaw, which was again it took a bit of a weird adjustment again because my left low kick wasn't as powerful because his leg is right next to mine.
Yeah.
So I can't. It's like fighting in a hallway. I couldn't get any power to kick on that lead one. The round right kick was okay, but it would leave me sort of out of position sometimes as well. So if I would put that there and I didn't bring it back nicely, he again would be cutting the angle.
You're
and
giving your back as well.
Yeah. So in terms of that, it was a little funky. I'm just trying to remember what I did in that to sort of alleviate that. High kick. I'd use the high kick, which could actually get in there and bring the guard down, which was all right. That's probably what I did.
I mean, it's not so much an issue with mixed martial arts because you have got the ability to take people down, and the single leg is there. If you're orthodox,
as much
and you can wrestle a bit, that single leg is just hanging out there to take. So, but that works for both the southpaw and the orthodox fighter. So, the single leg on the ground, I don't think it makes such a difference. Like what hand you preference.
Do you mean an MMA perspective?
Both in Jiu-Jitsu, Nogi and MMA, because I mean it makes a difference in ground and pound, as in which hand you're more likely to throw if you're trying to throw like a power shot. But the actual physics of grappling don't I mean there's nothing that particularly favours one side or the other.
Yeah, this is a weird one because we were trying to chat about it before we started filming, and we were sort of saying like how we're a bit weird with that in that when we're trying to find something to relate it to, like snowboarding or skateboarding, something that we both go goofy, and we tend to, when you step to pass the guard, you'll put that right leg in as sort of your tendril, right? But I'm not sure whether that this is something where I'm gonna have to go off and do some field data and then come back and be like, everybody's stepping in with the right. Whereas that's it. Joey always steps in with the left, right, and he'll always try and backstep. And he's got a real horrible backstep, which nobody else really does. People like try and come in square, but he'll step his left in and do like a pivot step around, which is just kind of quite horrible for the person underneath. So I'm just trying to think, in terms of application. Yeah,
well, I know I pass to the right, mostly.
You're right.
My
as
right.
You face. Oh, okay, that is a bit.
Sorry, I pass to the left.
Yeah, I do.
But I put my right leg in.
Same.
Usually when I'm attacking. Now, I think that might be due to surfing, skateboarding, Muay Thai, boxing, all of that stuff. Because I stand with that right leg forward. So that might just be. I mean, if I hadn't have done any of those things, would I prefer using my left? Would I put my left leg in first? I would imagine I probably would, because I am left-footed. So if I'm going to kick a ball, it's my left foot.
Yeah. But I'm right-handed, but I've always preferred any form of like board sport to have my right at the front for some reason.
Yeah, but I won't use that because due to striking. You're used to that stance. Maybe. So that. Oh no, hang on, because you.
I'm right.
Yeah, but, when you did Taekwondo, did you stand orthodox?
We stand fucking side on, don't you? You stand side on and you become ambidextrous, but essentially. But it would still be like, obviously I'm still right-legged, so I'd probably, if it's not really, they were ambidextrous. This is the thing, I get asked this a lot in Jiu-Jitsu as well from my students, is like, should I practice my non-dominant side so it's the same level as my good side? And I'm often sort of going like, well, I don't, to be honest. I don't really do that because I don't shin cut. I can absolutely do it. I'll do it on like sort of maybe browns and purples and below. I will shin cut to my left, but the way I move to my right, if I'm passing to the right, is completely different to the way I move to the left.
If I'm rolling with someone who's good, essentially, and I need to have, my A game on, particularly around passing, I don't even bother going to the left, using my left leg. Fine.
Sure.
I'll drill it. It's like I very rarely hit submissions. Like we all have a side we like to triangle. We all have a side we prefer, an arm we prefer to armbar. Our transitions are better.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing. Like I've never known anyone be truly ambidextrous in how they pass, the way they like to lock up triangles. They've just got they've greased that groove so well for that pass, that submission going in that direction. It's like that whole thing of, do you want to know 1,000 things or do you want a couple of things well? And what leg you prefer to put in the guard or try to pass with first plays a big difference.
Also, sort of the kind of the reactions that you'll get from somebody underneath as well often plays off of which side they like to play. So I find if I'm passing to my left, which is my dominant side, I'm more likely to get the correct stimulus and response from them to go that way. When I start going the other way with the other, they'll do something different because they'll be on the wrong hip. And then I've just got to replay off of that instead.
But most people like to be on their right hip.
Yeah, it's true. So that means your pass to the right side is going to be probably completely different because they're
going to respond differently.
Yes.
I like being on my right hip if someone's passing, because it means my left arm is going to be the underhook.
Sure. Yeah.
So if I get that half guard,
nice,
and I'm on that side, it's my dominant arm that's the underhook, which obviously gives me feels like a strength advantage.
A little bit.
It's complicated because in that sense we have just actually argued that there is a way, a reason why you do it, but then I don't see many people playing half guard on the other side.
Yeah, people are so far less inclined to go and work a really like an area that's shit.
Yeah, they are completely.
Yeah, and you know my half guard is pretty.
We've mentioned this in other videos. Pete doesn't really play half guard much.
I do. Sort of.
You use it to get back to places you want to be.
Get my legs.
It's not really somewhere you attack from because again we had this conversation about body types and shorter stumpy people preferring half guard as we're tall.
Yeah, it's not stop for me.
it's more of a transitionary position.
Yeah, it's like slough. You just go through it, right?
Yeah, no one stops in slough or pool. No one stops in pool.
Oi, I've got a gym there. It's true though. Just come to my class and leave. Yeah, I don't know. We reached no conclusion with that whatsoever.
We haven't.
I'm going to do some field data. I'm going to see. I'm going to because I think we need to do that a little more in jiu-jitsu because so many other sports are sort of stats oriented and they sort of say home runs and blah 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 blah, whereas we don't. It's two black belts. We don't even necessarily know which foot people are more likely to step in with.
Two black belts. We don't know what foot you're going to use.
We just both say, "Oh, we like right because we like right," and I've not actually sort of just noticed. This is when you do a move, and then somebody actually out of the blue says, "Oh, how'd you do that?" And you go,
I just do it.
Yeah.
There was this reminds me of a really classic thing. I used to do a lot of bodyboarding and a lot of surfing. Still do get out on the board every now and again. And I remember I'd be 13, 14 years old, and I asked one of the top people in the UK when I was down in Cornwall, how'd you do that? And they literally just turned to me, looked at me and went, well, I don't know, I just do it. They couldn't actually say how
not a
they
teacher
did it.
then.
No, he was not a coach. And to be fair, the guy was about 19. So,
okay.
Yeah, obviously it's not going to be so passing information.
It's the time under stress, isn't it?
But there is that element of a lot of people in jiu-jitsu.
We're quite surfy though in jiu-jitsu as well, aren't we?
But it's that thing of how do you do that? And some people can kind of describe what they're doing and how they're doing it. Majority of people can't. And that's nothing negative about them. They're skilled at what they're doing, skilled competitors, skilled jiu-jitsu players. It's just, we end up doing things that whatever side, hand, whatever, we just kind of end up learning what works for us through hours of rolling and training. So there is that element of just, oh, you had success with that this time. Oh, you're still having success with that. And then you just keep doing it. and it becomes part of your game.
I'm just wondering, where's the point where you give up? That's what I'm just thinking. Where in my journey have I gone like, this just doesn't fucking work? Like, I'm just wondering where that point is. Because like, I could go and relearn shin cut to my right, but its effectiveness is just not. It's just not going to be as good as my right ever. Just thinking, when do you give up? When do you give up?
Never. Always learn. Yeah.
There's always a path, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's what you got to think. You got to be funneling your way to where you kind of want to be. Really, as those dominant. That's where it comes down to, isn't it? It's getting back to those fundamentals. Is like you want to be funneling towards.
Yeah. So it's
those
sort of hand preference, side you like to pass, whatever it is. One thing I notice is if I do pass to my right, using my left leg, I will almost always either knee on belly, pop over to the other side,
right,
or north-south and work my way around to that position.
Oh, okay. So you want to get back into that favoured position on where you'd be comfortable anyway.
Yeah, I still find I do that thing. I still go in that direction.
What I find, it's just, again, we're just fucking rambling, but I find that whenever I pass to the right, people are more inclined to give up their head for some reason. Like they're trying to sit up on that side. I just seem to catch the head more. I get like more like front headlocks and things like that.
Yeah.
And also the way I attack is I'll switch my hips more if I'm on their right side, and I'll get like more short arm bars and stuff on that side. So my game on the other side of the body is completely different because on the side I would usually pass. So if I can go short path left, all my Kimuras and stuff are there, right? But if I've passed to the right, my game is like completely different. I'll be switching my hips, I'll be looking for chokes, I'll be looking for all sorts of baits and things. It's just a completely different game on the right.
I would say if I'm on the right, arm bars, guillotines, darce chokes, anacondas are going to be where I'm going to go. If I'm on the left,
I see the darces and stuff on my left.
See, if I'm on the other side of them, sorry, that's if I'm on their left side. If I'm on their right side, I don't even know what I do because I don't spend much time
I'm
there.
glad this is going out to the Jiu-Jitsu community because they don't have a fucking clue anybody else. Maybe a beginner watching this.
We started off talking about striking and boxing.
What the fuck are these two talking about?
Exactly. Just rambling. Anyway, on that note, I think that's enough. So yeah, thanks for watching.
Thanks.
We started with boxing and then we ended up with Jiu-Jitsu and some other stuff in the middle. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification icon wherever you know what it is. And yeah, all that good stuff. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers.
Bye.